Nice bike, dude.
Likewise.
So, you might have just seen me finish building my race bike for Leadville this year. It is a 2021 Specialized Epic EVO. And what I think is really interesting is that my coworker here, Chase, he's also doing Leadville and he's also riding a Specialized Epic EVO. So I figured we would get the two bikes side by side, talk a little bit about what you've done with your setup, what I've done with my setup, how they're similar, how they're different, whether we think it's maybe the ideal bike for the race. So Chase, before we get into all that, can you tell me a little bit about who you are, what you do here at TPC?
Absolutely. I work here at TPC in the consumables department. So as bikes come through the process, I'm grabbing parts for them and making sure that we keep parts in stock that the service bikes need. I've been into bikes pretty much my whole life at this point, but not real deep into bikes until about 4 years ago. COVID hit, needed something to do, and had my bike, and then undertook building up a bike of my own. When I was in middle school, I actually did a little bit of racing, cross-country mountain bikes, but that was the last time I raced my mountain bike. So when I got kind of more deep into mountain bikes about 4 years, or into bikes in general about 4 years ago, I did my first race since then, and pretty much at this point, it's only been gravel races.
Okay. So would you consider yourself a gravel racer these days?
At a very amateur level, yeah. I love doing it. It's a great time. It gives me something to stay motivated toward. I ride my gravel bike more than any other bike, I'd say, but yeah, it's great.
You and I have actually gone head-to-head a few times.
That's right.
I think right now I am 0 for 3 against you. You've beaten me every time.
May be the case.
Leadville has a lot of climbing, so it might be 0 for 4 soon. We'll see.
We'll see what happens, man. It's a long course.
Yeah, but I don't know, maybe my bike setup might be a little bit faster than yours. Who knows?
It could be. It's looking like it right now.
Can you tell me about your Specialized Epic EVO here?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a 2023. It's the expert spec. I got it here from the pros closet. As soon as I got it, the first thing I changed was the cockpit, pretty similar to what you have going on. I wanted a flat carbon handlebar that was a little narrower to make things lighter. I also put a longer stem on. I'm partial to polished parts, so got this whiskey stem in an 80 mil. And slammed it because I like an aggressive forward position. And you know how it is. I see you've got a very similar situation going. You know, it's my kind of do-it-all bike out here as far as mountain bikes go.
Cool.
It's
what width are these bars?
I believe they are 760.
Okay,
they're stock. I didn't cut them down. But I think that's what they're sitting at now.
So we're actually running the exact same dimensions, 80 mil stem, 760 bars.
Go figure.
Tell me what's going on with this whole thing right there.
So I'm not the most proud of how they look, but how they feel really makes up for it. I wanted something that was a little more aerodynamic and a bit of a position change on the bike.
Okay.
Part of the reason I like a cross-country bike, or downcountry if you will, is being able to pedal from my house out to the trails. Living in Boulder, pretty privileged in that we've got a lot of access right here in town. And man, getting my, coming from the world of gravel, having a narrower setup, feeling more aerodynamic, having something to be able to change it up, get tucked in a little, and just push on the pedals. I feel like it makes a big difference, and also just for comfort-wise.
And these are made by SQ Lab?
SQ Labs, yeah, they're super ergonomic, so you just get planted right there.
Are they intended to be run inboard of the grips like that?
I think folks run them closer to the grips, but I had the space, so I smashed them in a little bit further actually, because I feel like for me, the change in position from here to here is not very dramatic, so if I could take it in a few more inches, I might as well.
Cool, and otherwise, we've got pretty similar builds, SRAM drivetrains. I see you have XX1 cranks.
That's right.
You have a Quark power meter.
I do, yeah.
Yep, I've got a Power 2 Max power meter. What size chainring are you running?
I'm gonna just go with the 32. I'm not gonna try and get too bold. The fastest guys out there can manage to push something bigger than that, but this is gonna keep me honest. Still, hopefully, we'll be able to crawl up Powerline and Columbine. We'll see how it goes.
That's good. In an earlier video we made with some Leadville finishers here at TPC, they did suggest using a 32 tooth.
Okay.
I still have a 34, so I might listen to them and swap that out.
Feeling like I'm on the right track.
1052 in the rear.
Yeah, 1052. It's a mechanical setup. The bike came with mechanical, but it's really light. It's really dependable, so I haven't felt the need to change it. The cranks actually were also something I swapped. When I got the bike, it had alloy GX cranks in a 175.
Okay.
And that just didn't feel right on a mountain bike. So I actually went to the opposite end of the spectrum, got myself some 165s. So not only did I save a ton of weight, but I went real short, and yeah, modern trends with that one, but they feel awesome so far, honestly.
And trail pedals, you're gonna run those?
Yeah, the pedals are gonna get changed. I'm gonna put on some conventional XTR SPDs, and I think I'll also swap the tires too, something a little bit more fast rolling. I'm looking at the Specialized Renegade in there. I believe the T5 compound also, something a little bit more firm, but you know, grip is going to be important, but I think rolling speed is going to be kind of key in this event.
And then carbon wheels?
Yeah, carbon wheels that came with it, the Rivalry controls, they're great. They're light, they spin well. I love them so far.
Yeah, really nice build. I guess the last thing to mention, suspension, you have just the RockShox SID.
Yeah.
Select Plus up front, SID Lux Select Plus in the rear. I actually, that's what I had on this is my second Epic EVO.
It's a great bike.
Yeah, it's what I had on my previous
back to it.
Epic EVO, and I really liked it. Same G2 brakes as me.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've been considering swapping to the Ultimate levers, but that's because the levers that I have are polished, and it would mostly be an aesthetics choice, but we'll see if we get to it.
Well, so one more thing I want to touch on is your choice to run a dropper post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to keep the dropper on there. I would like to go with something like a Transfer SL that's even lighter. I think it would be a great option on this bike.
What's this one?
It is a X-Fusion Manic, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
125?
I think it's about there. I actually couldn't tell you specifically. I have been considering going to the Transfer SL, which I think it would definitely be a lighter option. Not as much travel available with this diameter of seat post or seat tube. But I think we'll see what happens. I know some folks that don't run droppers for Leadville, but I think there's a bit of hassle with taking it out and putting it back in for one. And also, I think the ability to be able to drop it down, get a little bit more aerodynamic, or get the bike out of the way is going to be pretty crucial.
Awesome. Well, Chase, I think your bike is pretty cool.
Thanks, man. Likewise.
I have to ask though, do you think it is the perfect bike for Leadville?
Perfect bike? Probably not the perfect bike. It'll be a great bike for me this time, but no, there's other bikes I think I would pick out if I could pick anything off the shelf.
Oh, okay. Actually, since we're talking about this, money's no object. You can choose anything you want just to have a bike just for Leadville. What would you pick?
Well, I'm a bit partial to Specialized as is. I think that Epic World Cup is looking pretty sweet because I see a lot of folks at the pointy end of the race running hardtails, and I thought about it a little bit. Like S-Works Epic Hardtail, pretty dope bike. But for me personally, comfort's going to be such a big factor. So having that full suspension, I think would, a bike that's that light and that fast, I think that would be the one I would pick off the shelf.
I actually had a similar answer. I was probably going to say the Super Caliber.
Oh yeah?
Pretty much the same bike.
Yeah, very similar
the Trek
idea.
version.
Exactly.
But it's sort of like in between a full suspension and a hardtail.
Right, yeah.
But I mean, like you, I am going to ride this bike on my regular trails too. So I think the Epic EVO is, for me, the better do-it-all sort of option.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I can have my friends on their big trail bikes tow me around and wait for me on some of the Black Diamond trails out here. Yeah. But I can also ride to the trailhead on this thing and ride it all day also. So yeah, it's an excellent bike, and I think it's going to do great at Leadville.
Well, cool. Hopefully you have good luck out there.
Yeah,
hopefully
same
not
to you, man.
Too much luck. Maybe a little bit less luck than me.
We'll see. I'm doing everything I can to put luck on my side, but the day of, anything can happen.
All right. Well, maybe we'll get on some training rides together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe you'll see both of us out at Leadville this year. If you do, definitely say hi.
Say hi.
Don't forget, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.